Hey, Christian, what's up?
Hey Gary, we're glad to have you on board with the Red Bull program this year. Just wanted to say good luck for this season in F2. We'll be watching closely. Perform well enough and I will find you a ride.
Well, there you hear it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the F123 Driver Career Mode Prologue. This is a mini video of a showcase of select events here of the F2 season leading into Formula One. We are a part of the Red Bull Racing program trying to get a ride in Formula One next season. And we kick things off with our debut here in Bahrain with Logan Sargent on pole position, myself joining him on the front row. Completely ignore that it says Liam Lawson's name on the car. That's not, don't worry about that now as we head down towards turn one, and we were looking for an overtaking opportunity on Sargent. Wasn't quite going to happen here. My first F2 race now as well, just trying to get acclimated with this F2 car and warmed up into this car here now, as well as we hope to fight for the championship here. You're going to see 6 select events in this prologue episode that played a big role throughout the season in how things turned out here now, but it was looking like early on Logan Sargent going to be a legitimate threat here for the title. Now, I am recording this prologue video on F122, as you can tell, but obviously starting tomorrow from now on, everything will be on the F123 game. Right to the end of my first race, it was P3, so we get a podium in our debut here in Formula 2, but it was Logan Sargent taking the victory here in Bahrain, as it was looking like it was going to be difficult to beat the young American, as we have a few words from him.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for much better of a start, obviously. I'm here to prove that an American has what it takes to make it to Formula One.
You hear the young American of Logan Sargent there taking round one, as we would focus in towards the second event here of focus throughout the season, Barcelona here in the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Catalunya. A track that I have my ups and downs at here, but this would turn out to be quite an eventful Grand Prix that played a staple role in our season. We would kick things off from P5 on the grid. A rough qualifying effort, Sargent P2 leading the championship at this point coming into this race here now, as you see a really rough start for myself off the grid. Tailport chair goes through as well. You see Sato and Nissani go through as well. I go for a bit of a defensive move here on one of the fellow Red Bull Academy drivers down into turn one of the inside. There you got Iwasa. Pay attention to Iwasa, especially in this F123 career mode. We're going to be watching F2 all season long in our F123 career mode, as well as we make some big moves. We're going to make a rebound here and gain several positions up into 4th place here on the start. Logan Sargent down to 3rd place after the start here now, so we're closing in on the back of him. Multiple races into the season, yet to pick up my first win in Formula 2. It didn't look likely after that start, but it was now looking likely as we come through towards the end of the lap here now, closing in on the back of Logan Sargent. Here the young American, now is the young Canadian myself. We're going to put the attack on the right hand side here now as we head down this long straightaway towards turn number 1. Side by side, wheel to wheel, we'll go through, take the 3rd position, and it wasn't over quite yet. We were on the attack, flying through the field, starting the final lap here in Spain. A move on Vesti up the inside down into turn 1. You got Doohan trying to run away, of course. I'm trying to close in on him, so we clear Vesti, and we were closing in quickly for the lead position here on the final lap. Really abusing track limits and just trying to get all I could out of this car into the final sector. We have gotten right to the back of the leader, going for our first win in Formula 2 here, trying to go around the outside. Not quite going to work there, but trying to get his best run if I can. It's pretty good. Actually, a lot of momentum. We're going to lunge an aggressive move up the inside. It's going to work. We catch him off guard. Up into P1 we go for the first time in our Formula 2 career. It looks like we're about to go to the top step of the podium here through the final couple of corners now. Out of the final turn, a huge moment there through the gravel. A bunch of oversteer. We save it, but we win in dramatic fashion in Formula 2.
Great drive! We did it! Good job! We did it!
What a drive indeed. Top step of the podium. We are now a Formula 2 winner, and obviously that will do us some favors in hopes of getting a ride in Formula 1 in the 2023 season. Let's take a look here at the standings. Yes, so we actually were now leading the standings by 3 points over Sargent. Vesti only back by 8. Jake Doohan out by 15 points here. Now, round 3 that we're focusing on in this prologue episode, Monaco. Obviously, a lot of history here in Monaco, such a historic and iconic track on Earth, and I was excited for this one and hoping to have an opportunity to attack Logan Sargent as we started P2 Logan Sargent on pole position here, and it was starting to become pretty clear that the championship battle this season in 2022 is going to be between the American and the Canadian of myself here. Now, two North Americans going for the title fight here in Formula 2. Some contact there with Iwasa down into turn 1, but we are going to be able to stay ahead of the young Japanese driver and hold on to second place here now. And then we were, of course, focusing in now on Logan Sargent. Not a great start, but we had more pace overall than Sargent all race long. We're going to cut straight through to the final lap with some comms from Mark.
Whatever you can do, you need to try and win this race.
Very straightforward right there from Mark now, and we would put together a pretty good Sector 2 and a monster Sector 3, which would close me in on the back of Logan Sargent here. Now looking for a desperation move, we're going to send one of the inside into the back of him, bump and run NASCAR style, contact sideways, we save it, into the lead we go.
You need to give the place back immediately. Do it right now.
Yeah, you can't do that. We got to give the position back to Logan Sargent across the line. We barely hold on to P2. Logan Sargent picks up the victory as we clash for the first time in our title fight. Some choice words from Logan Sargent at the top step of the podium.
Can't say I'm shocked, honestly. He's got a bit of an idiocy issue on track.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. I think I just proved today that I'm willing to do more than what he is to win a race. Well, you hear the words from both sides now, and that would shape us up for a battle here in Baku, round 4 of the focus here in this prologue episode of the Formula 2 2022 season. We were starting on pole position for the first time in our F2 career. Iwasa, Sargent, second and third. Lights out, we were underway here from Baku now, and it was a pretty good start right up until that moment right there. Some oversteer. We save it down into turn 1. We're going to be side by side. Iwasa takes the position, so we would have to settle in. Sargent down to 4th, but here we are down the long back straightaway now towards turn number 3. We're going to lunge it back up the inside here and take the lead back from Iwasa. So there we go, back into P1, but it wasn't done quite yet here with the battles up front. So a little bit later in the Grand Prix, we're going to cut through a lap later here, and watch this. Iwasa, who's about 0.3 of a second back, sends it into the corner and runs right into my right rear. He gets damaged. We save it somehow. Not sure what he was trying to accomplish, but he would obviously have to pit at the end of the lap for wing damage. That would put Sargent into 3rd, and then Sargent unfortunately was able to also overtake at the same time Tail Porcher down into turn 1, so up into 2nd place he would go. We would hang on to get our 2nd win in Formula 2, crossing the line for the victory here in Azerbaijan, Baku City Circuit there, but Sargent not far behind, and he keeps the championship battle going here early in the season. Some epic fights here now to kick things off as we celebrate now this 2nd victory in Formula 2. 5 points that gap between myself and Logan Sargent. More importantly, we would receive a phone call from Christian Horner following the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Hey, Gary, I've got great news for you. Pierre Gasly is headed to Alpine. We want you to step into his ride for next season. How does that sound?
Great. Sounds awesome. I mean, let's do it. Let's sign it.
Awesome. We will get you signed and announced this weekend. I'm also hearing a rumor that Logan has signed with Williams.
It is official. We're racing with AlphaTauri next season in place of Pierre Gasly. A rumor that Sargent is headed to Williams would be confirmed post-summer break press conference.
I'm happy to announce that I will be racing for Williams next season.
Yeah, and I'm happy to announce that I'm also going F1 racing next season with AlphaTauri.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
Yeah, same here. Well, there you hear a little back and forth between myself and Sargent. We were now, after the summer break, ready for some racing here in Spa. Now, leading up to the summer break, we picked up another win. So we were at 3 wins in F2. Sargent had another one as well. He had 2 wins now. We were starting P3 and P4, respectively, here now. The two of us. This is going to be lights out in a wet Belgium Grand Prix here in Spa. It's a decent start, but not great sideways. There nearly some contact with Sargent as we head down into turn 1. We were nearly 3 wide in the middle, but we clear Sargent on the exit of the first turn. Side by side in front of us between Vesti and Porcher. There would continue side by side all the way through Sector 1 towards Sector 2 as we head down towards the sweeping right-hander. Porcher clear, but Vesti sends one up the inside. Here comes Logan Sargent now picking up the inside of myself as well. Now the battle for that spot on the podium. Here we go, side by side into the left-hander. This is a driver, of course, I'm not going to let go quite easily. We're fighting for the championship. We've already got a bit of rivalry brewing with Sargent as we head down into the sweeping left-hander. He runs us out of room, and he completely tanks us out. Sargent has completely wrecked us here in the opening lap in Spa. What the was that all about, dude?
Don't worry, just focus, please.
we get taken out by Sargent. We would, however, rebound to 8th place by the end of the race. Sargent, however, on the podium. We're going to cross the line here, and it's going to be a rough day, unfortunately, in Spa. And the points, of course, that's the question of where that's going to end up going towards the rest of this season now. But yeah, not happy with how we got raced right there by Logan Sargent. Now, that's not the first time we've had a run-in with him, obviously, and the points gap now 5 points back going into the final race of the prologue, which was Abu Dhabi. So in a must-beat Logan Sargent situation, obviously, and it all comes down to the final race of the season here at Yas Marina Circuit. We've had run-ins, we've had a rivalry brewing. We've already known, that we're headed to Formula One in this next season for 2023 with AlphaTauri, and Logan Sargent is going to be with Williams. So we're going to see each other on track quite a bit in Season 1 at least. And now here we are set to fight for a championship. Unfortunately, Sargent on pole, myself P5. It's lights out. We're underway for this championship finale. It's a terrible start for the American down towards turn 1. Well, I couldn't really ask for much better. I do give up a spot into turn 1, but we gain it right back immediately there from Roy Nissany. Up into 5th place we go again. Now Logan Sargent from 1st to 4th off the line. Absolutely atrocious. Here we go. On the back of him now. We're going to swing to the right side of him now as we head down towards the braking zone. He's going to go up the inside of Jake Doohan. They're going to go 3 wide actually. I think Nissany, yes it was, Nissany sent one right there. I had Santo briefly peeking up my inside as well. Now it's a drag race again with Sargent here. We are teammates, don't forget, at Carlin. We've been teammates all season. We certainly haven't raced like teammates here, both fighting for rides in F1. We've made it, but now we fight for a title. I bank out of it. Did not trust Logan down into that chicane right there, 3 wide on the inside, so I let him have it briefly because I think we got enough pace to beat him here. Now by the end, towards the end of this second sector, major contact with Logan Sargent right there as he basically, it felt like he was brake testing me, and now you're going to see down towards the chicane a lap later, a big move right there on him. We're going to go up the inside, and we will take the position from Sargent. That's not enough, however, to win the World Drivers' Championship here in Formula 2. We need a couple more positions if we're going to do that, and we are running out of time quickly. Final lap in Abu Dhabi, a second ahead of Sargent Doohan. Right in front of us, locks up. That's the free position right there. Immediately, I pull out a line and slip through into 4th place. One more position, Nissany. That's what we need to win this title here over Logan Sargent now as we come through the hairpin, the long sweeping left-hander actually it is. Is this really a hairpin as we now go side by side drag racing, and there he goes. He backs out of it. Up into 3rd place onto the podium we go, and now up into the championship lead we go in the final couple of corners in the season-long battle with Logan Sargent. The ups and downs, the contact, the pivotal moments where we had contact resulting in crashes comes to rest here. We win the Formula 2 World Drivers' Championship in the F123 Driver Career Mode Prologue as we can celebrate our first and, well, obviously only world title here in Formula 2 before we send it off into Formula 1 next season. And now we're set up against the American of Logan Sargent to battle for Rookie of the Year. We win the title by 3 points over Sargent. Porcher and Vesti both 18 points back in 3rd and 4th. That's it. That's the F123 Driver Career Mode Prologue recorded on F122, and I'll see you guys starting tomorrow with the first episode of the F123 Driver Career Mode from Bahrain, where we kick off our F1 career. I hope you enjoyed the prologue. If you did, let me know what you thought about it down below, but that's going to wrap it up for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.